London. Hope you're well. Hope all is good wherever you are on the planet. Hope your bass playing's going good. I just thought I'd check in. A couple of nights since we did the live chat, the regular live chat, so we're doing an impromptu one. Got a very nice Alembic Persuader here. And very good it is too. Yeah, a belter, I have to say. But anyway, hope you're doing well. It's Thursday. What have I been up to? I was out the house yesterday. Been dealing with shorts and doing timestamps on Tuesday's live chat. Done some videoing, done some editing today. Hopefully there's going to be a long form video up tomorrow, which I've been working on today. So yeah, that'll be out sometime tomorrow. And I'm very pleased to announce that yesterday I got notification both from YouTube and vidIQ that we've sort of steamed through the 800,000 views marker here on the channel. So in almost 5 years of doing this channel, finally we're building up a lot of momentum at the moment. And yeah, yesterday, actually I think it was Tuesday, because the analytics get reported 2 days in advance, sorry, 2 days behind, so whatever happens on Tuesday gets reported today. But basically, yes, we've steamrolled through 800,000. So at the current rate, I thought we would hit probably 1 million views by September. It might be before then. So thank you to all you fine people out there in YouTube land. There's my mate. What were I doing on Monday? I'll get to that in a minute. Too pushy, man. Yeah, so it's all going very, very quick. So I think we're probably going to hit 1 million views before September. So thank you very much. Can't do it without you. I can't do it without you at all whatsoever. Then it would just be me producing videos and no one watching it. But yeah, 800,000 kind of took my breath away, because it took until May this year to hit 700,000. And what's surprising me so much is that we've done 100,000 views, I think, in about 6 or 7 weeks. It's like mental. I can't kind of get my head around it. And I know I'm producing a lot more shorts at the moment, which are basically remixed videos from pre-existing live chats we did a couple of years ago. But it's a bit mental. I'm trying to get my brain around it. So on top of that, the bass collection video, which is here on the channel, which I did 2.5 years ago, looking at my bass collection, in about 2 days' time is going to hit 25,000 views, and it's already the big highest number of views of any video here on the channel. But the fact that's going to hit 25,000, it's like, that's not too bad. I'm quite pleased with that. I can go with that. When I was producing that video, it took me 55 hours in total to get it all together. And I remember thinking at the time, as I was finishing the editing, I sort of looked at myself in the mirror and I thought, if they don't like this, I can't do any better. Or I couldn't at that time. I could now. I've got another 2.5 years of editing experience. But at the time, I just thought, I can't do any better than this. If this dies on its backside, then so be it. I can't do anything better. So, again, big thank you to you fine people out there. I can see messages starting to flood in. 2 seconds. Right, and Conky, that's my mate Andy. I'll tell them what we were doing in a minute. Giovanni, hi, good to see you. B Media, good man, Brooksy, sending you good vibes. Thank you very much. Bless your heart. So Monday, me and my good friend there, my wingman, we went for a 30th anniversary visit to our old university in Kingston in southwest London. And we took a little trip around our old haunts of Kingston. Music shops, instrument selling shops, pubs, clubs, record stores, all sorts of places. Looking back at 30 years since both he and I graduated. And it was eye-opening. I was extremely, well, he'll recall this if I brought him live onto screen. I was extremely disorientated with the whole process in the university building that I used to walk round, knew like the back of my hand. Now it bears absolutely no resemblance inside to the university I once knew, not a jot. And I couldn't work out what was above where and where places were, and you might as well have put me in the garden maze at Hampton Court. I had no clue. All I could go on were memories of where things used to be located. Now they're not. It was very off-putting, put it that way. I was far more in my in my zone once we went out into Kingston, and I know the geography of Kingston is fine, but the actual university blew my mind. I was like, crikey. Thankfully, my guide and wingman knew exactly what he was looking at and doing, so it was all good. What's that? Lewis, can you improvise over this chord progression? I could, but I'm not going to. I'm not plugged into anything. So all you're going to hear is strings banging against frets. But no, that's not what we're doing. I just had this in my hands because I was playing it. Westfall, good to see you too. Rock fan, seen you before, good. Great job. You're the only professional bassist that is sharing their experience and knowledge for free on the internet. Thank you, my man. I really appreciate it. That's the idea. So when this channel started 5 years ago, the whole premise of this, I'd never, as a musician, all of us, especially here in the UK, all do social media, all do Facebook, multiple email accounts, blah, 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 blah. Got to have a YouTube channel. And I had a profile, but I had no channel. I didn't bother setting up a channel. And all that any London musicians used to do, like 10, 15 years ago, was film a bunch of gig footage, sling it up, and it never did anything. And back then, in 2009, 2010, making money from YouTube wasn't a thing unless you were really a business. People didn't really latch on to what you could do. And it was always something on my list of things to do, things I've got to do a YouTube channel. I never did it. And then we got into lockdown. It became very evident very quick that we weren't going to be out gigging anytime soon. Needed to make an income because the government wasn't going to be paying me very much as a self-employed musician. And I didn't have a regular 9-to-5 job, so I had no furlough money coming through. And a friend of mine revamped his old YouTube channel, and the very first video he did was a comparison video between the cheapest audio interface and the most expensive audio interface, and that video took off like a bloody rocket. He got somewhere in the region of, I think, like 250,000 views within a week. It was mental. It meant his channel completely monetized overnight, and he suddenly was on his YouTube journey. And I remember looking at it going, I'd do that for the magazine. Why don't I do it for myself? But I still didn't have the idea in process. And then through the May and June of 2020, I was in my garage right there where my workbench is, and I was setting all my basses up, restringing, cleaning them up, making them look lovely. And I literally could have filmed all of that. I would have had content for a best part of 18 months that I could have put up. I didn't film any of it, didn't know. And as I was doing the last bass, which was a Spectre Euro LX, I suddenly thought, you should have been filming this. And my mind just drifted as you're cleaning the 30th bass you've got, cleaning it, doing the strings, waxing it, all of that. I thought, Brooks's Bass Corner, that's what we're going to do. I didn't even think of any other names. It was just that. It just hit me. That was it. And within 5 weeks, I had a channel up and running. But the whole premise of the channel was to do demos, reviews, let people hear instruments, because at that time we didn't know if we were ever going to get back out to the shops. We didn't, to be fair. Hard to think back now, and that was what we were thinking, but that's exactly what we were thinking. And I felt it would be an injustice if people were buying instruments, because I'd heard that, like at the time I was writing a piece for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player about Yamaha and Ampeg, and the guy at Yamaha here in the UK UK said to me, he said, we've run out of stock. We've got no instruments in our warehouse. I said, you must have something. He said, no, the shops have emptied because people have got their sort of furlough money and money that they had put aside, and now they realise they're not going to be working as they have been. They want to start playing musical instruments, learning how to play. So all the shops had sold out of all the gear. And I thought, well, if people are doing that, I'm sure people are spending £1,000, £2,000, maybe £5,000 buying up their ideal instruments and stuff. But they've got nothing to reference it to, and they can't actually go to the store physically to try it before they buy it. What are they using as a reference point? So if you're going to buy a second-hand Alembic, for example, and you're going to shell out £3,000, surely you want to hear that thing before you buy it. And I thought, well, I've got a reasonable bass collection, or did have at the time, still have now. I know what things sound like because I review them all the time, but a lot of people don't, and they'll just be buying things on a whim without any sense of what they're buying. And I thought, it's not right. So the idea was to create a library of demos and bass sounds and trying all the settings and doing videos on different playing styles and the tone controls on your basses and what have you. So people could actually go and buy stuff with at least some sort of educated knowledge of what they were about to buy. So if it didn't sound how you wanted, you weren't going to waste £3,000 and then try and sell it at a loss, invariably. And you'd have my channel as some sort of repository, if you like, of demos and sounds and tones to refer to. And that's how it started out. It's changed along the way, but still the fundamental core are the demos and the reviews here on the channel. So that's kind of what that was all about. And that's what the whole thing is now. So I'll go back through the messages where Rock Fan was saying, it's me sharing my experience and knowledge. So that was the premise. And now what's happened as we've moved into this year is that a very good friend, a lot of people here on the channel who watch the channel will know, Nick Smith, who was a bass player here in the UK. He died in January, 2 years older than me. Died very unexpectedly. Long before his time. The man had an incredible knowledge of gear and basses and playing and musical knowledge, and he didn't write any of it down. All we've got left is his Facebook channel. On his Facebook profile, he didn't have a YouTube channel. There's videos of him playing, but all the stuff he knew that was in his head and that he'd accumulated over time, it was all up there. He didn't write any of it down. So we have no record of anything. And many's the time since he's passed away, I've thought, just need to ask Nick about something, and then realise he isn't here. So what I've pivoted on since his passing is that all the knowledge I've got regarding basses, amps, effects, bass playing, bass players, albums, gigs, everything I've built up in my life, being a fan of music and players and being a musician, I need to get as much of that onto this channel as I possibly can. If it doesn't work for everyone, that's fine, you don't have to watch it. But if I can unleash some nuggets of bass information, career information, advice, education, knowledge, if I got hit by a car tomorrow, at least some of that's here on this channel that you guys can make use of. That's the premise. So Rock Fan, thank you for that. Yes, Westfort, Alembic Persuader, Koa topped, flame Koa, no less. It's got a few scuffs. Actually, I have a feeling I bought this off Nick last July, and I think either some of the scuffs that were already on there were masked with certain sort of wax and polish. But I think this has acquired a couple of new ones as well. It's been in gig bags and stuff, because I've taken this with me on gigs. At some point this might go back to the mothership for a relacquer, we'll see. Country Taco, have a great day, thank you very much. Deddy Rimex, bass Sweet Child of Mine. I don't do play-alongs, I'm not getting copyright strikes, sorry. Westfort, sorry last Tuesday I left the live chat quite early without saying goodbye. That's all right, cool. You drop in and out of live chats as you wish. It's fine. Rock fan, what's that? Sorry. Passing on your knowledge, one of the greatest things anyone can do in their life, in my humble opinion. Thank you. I don't have any children. So if I had a kid and I taught him how to play, or her, how to play bass, and all the stuff I know up here, that'd be great, but I don't. So the best thing I can do is live chats, long form videos, short form videos, and fill them with as much of what I've got in there, bass related, as I possibly can, which is why I'm doing more shorts, doing more of these impromptu live chats as well. That's kind of also why on Tuesday, at the start of Tuesday's live chat, I was talking about this gig that I'm doing tomorrow with the Queen tribute in Oxford. So we've got an update now. So I was going at it hammer and tongs on Tuesday, because we've got this gig and we were promised there was parking, we were promised there was loading access. Ronald from Houston in Texas, good to see you. We're in London here. It's very windy, sunny, but it's windy, so I have to keep holding the tripod. So we're playing Queen's College in Oxford on Friday night at 1 a.m. with a Queen tribute. We were promised in the contract, when the booking was initially made, there was going to be parking and there was going to be car access either to the stage or the building we would be playing in. We found out there is no access for cars. You can't get a car inside the perimeter wall, so you can't get anywhere near where the stage is, whether it's indoors or outdoors, and there's nowhere to park. And we got a thing through finally yesterday at 5 o'clock to say a PDF with a brief map. I mean, it's literally someone's written it on a piece of paper with pencil and then photoed it. We've been given some phone numbers to call when we get there, which are going to be really bloody helpful at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. And once we've dropped our gear off, we've got to go and park our cars wherever we can see fit to do so. Well, I can tell you now, parking in and around Oxford is a nightmare. Always has been, always will be. So that's promising to be a real treat. And in a complete act of defiance on my own part, I've decided that because the people organising this event, who will be a bunch of pissed up students tomorrow night, and we won't get any sense out of them, that the fact that they've completely treated us like dog crap on the bottom of their shoe, I'm not going to take any amplification. I'm just going to take a pedal. In fact, I'm not even going to take a pedal board. I'm going to take a tuner. I'm taking Digitech drop pedal, and I'm going to take my Aguilar Tone Hammer preamp, and I'm taking one bass, and I'm going to restring it tomorrow morning. Take one bass, 3 pedals, 2 leads and a bunch of patch leads, and the relevant adapters that I need to power the pedals, and my costume. That's it. If they can't be bothered to tell us the right information and provide us with what we've requested, if we'd known in January that we couldn't park near and couldn't get the cars anywhere near, and this PDF we got said, oh, just drop your gear off at the porter's door and then go and park your car. It could be half an hour to 45 minutes before we get back having parked. Someone could walk off with our gear. As though I'm going to leave an Aguilar amplifier and an Aguilar cab at these gates and no one looking after it. You got to be joking. There's no way. So what I'm going to do is 1 bass, 3 pedals, couple of leads, costume bag, in-ears. I take my in-ears, and I'm going to park in a car park that I've used in Oxford since 2003, and then I'm going to walk back to the college where we're playing, and that's it. So if anyone goes, well, where's your amp? Or if there are other bands there expecting us to provide amps and they were going to use them, no, that ain't happening. You can provide me with parking and information. I can't be bothered to bring an amplifier, so you can forget it. So the out front sound is what they're going to be hearing. That's the end of that. Sometimes you got to play tough. And I do more and more gigs without amplification anyway, so stuff it. And they'll have monitoring, so I'll either have a monitor at my feet or a run on the ears. We're doing 1 hour. I'll live without amplification. It's fine. It's for my benefit more than the audience. Rock fan, like the stream, good man. Thank you. Please, anyone watching, please give the video, this live stream, a thumbs up. It's the most important thing you can do. Far more important than subscribing to the channel, although if you wish to do so, fabulous. But the best thing you can do for me, the channel, this video, any videos on the channel, just give it a thumbs up. Rock fan, good for you. I agree with you. You need to be treated with some respect. Exactly. And this is the thing. What annoys me about this whole situation is the agent takes 20% commission plus VAT. Yet they've provided us with minimal information. Even on the PDF we got yesterday, it said when you arrive, you have to ring the representative that booked you on their mobile phone. We haven't been given a number. So how are we supposed to do that? Literally, we're going to be banging on a door until someone opens it. Nonsense. Apps, the whole thing is nonsense. And it vexes me that the agent has the audacity to do this. Take their money, but provide us with no service. This is all part of being an agent. I used to be an agent. This is part of the job. Give the bands all the details so when they get there, they're fully armed, they know what they're doing, no problems. But the fact that the organisers there have basically pulled a fast one. They've told us something in order to get the booking over the line, and then, as we found out now 6 months later, it was a load of old cobblers. So, yeah. So I'll be ready for tomorrow. I'm going to have a nice sleep in the afternoon. I'll be ready for leaving here at 9 o'clock. I'll get there for 10. We're going on stage at 1. And if people are nice and pleasant, they'll get a nice and pleasant mic. And if people are obnoxious, drunk, and a lot of grief, someone's going to cop it. Because the whole thing stinks of crap, in my book. I used to book gigs. I used to run bands. Nowadays, I just turn up, I play, have a great time, and I go. And I don't need grief like this. It's just nonsense. But I knew when this booking came in, Oxford was going to be a complete pain in the ass. And lo and behold, that's exactly how it's panned out so far. So I'm hoping tomorrow night's gig for the good students of Queen's College in Oxford, I hope they are on form. I hope we do a great gig. Well, I'll be great, I know that much. And they have a great time. Communication and respect, that's exactly it. Give me Java, good to see you. ACG or Buzz, hi, good to see you, hope you're well. The agent deserves nothing, quite right, and deserves half fee, if that, frankly. I don't have any dealings with the agent, that's the band leader's job. Like I say, these days I just turn up the gigs, I play, and I go. I have no organisational involvement, and that's the way I like it. I did it for years, and it's fine when you're being paid a little more to deal with all those sort of situations. That's fine, but I don't anymore. I get my performance fee, and that's it. That's fine. That's what you get. A fine performance and absolutely no organisational involvement. Anyway, how is everyone out there? Sorry, I'm having a little rant now. I've calmed down. How is everyone? Anyone out gigging tonight? Where are you gigging? I used to gig almost every Thursday. These days, a Thursday gig is a rarity. It just doesn't happen. Certainly here in London. At one point, from about 2011 up to 2015, if you're in a covers band or you're a covers musician in London, if you weren't playing at the Roadhouse in Covent Garden, or you weren't playing at Wardour Street O'Neill's, if you weren't doing either of those gigs, and you weren't on one of the gigs I was booking, when I was booking bands into a chain of venues in the centre of London, if you didn't have one of those three, you weren't earning money in London on a covers gig. Those were the only three on a Thursday. YYG Plays, hi, good to see you. have a very people were asking about merch the other day, so if you've seen the channel past couple of hours, I put up a post. So there is a 20% discount on Brooks's Base Corner merch at the moment. Links aren't in a description box for this, but if you go into any other video on the channel, you'll find Brooks's Base Corner merchandise, links for the UK and Europe, and links for America and worldwide. So people were asking, oh, you don't put up the discounts anymore. I used to do it, no one bought anything. It's fine. So I found out it's a 20% discount until 6th of July. So caps, hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, glasses, foam covers, mouse mats, 170 products. There's about 15 different designs, and I've had people asking me literally in the past couple of weeks. I've worn a couple of the merch t-shirts. So I've got here, this is a Lee Sklar t-shirt, and these take quotes from the various interviews that I did with famous bass players, and you'll find them in the merch store. So there's a Mark King one, Chris Squire one, Nathan East, and a Mark King one. I have permission to do it from the relevant parties. I own the copyright on the interview, but you have to ask permission before you use quotes, and I have that. So anyway, if you want any of this merch, it's 20% off till 6th of July. Use the merch links, and happy shopping. Stuart, you posted a message and you've retracted it. See-through head, good to see you. Remember O'Neill's Earls Court? Yes, I played there about 5 times. That was a great, very busy Thursday. Yes, it was, until the management changed. Yeah, and it died, didn't it? It died on its arse. That was a really good gig. I remember we did, my old covers band, we did a Christmas party there for Fleet Street. A bunch of places in Fleet Street held like a Christmas get-together in there. And my band did a gig, and out of that we got a load of corporate events from a guy that was there. It was very fruitful, that gig. And then within a year it changed management. It was completely gone. The only bad bit was the parking. Parking was a nightmare around there. And getting there from the west. I would have been in Ealing at the time. Sometimes getting there was a real bind on the M4. Anyway, getting back to my wingman Andy, if he's still on. Yeah, we did that on Monday. So there's a video coming your way very soon, some of which I was editing up today. And we took a 30th anniversary look back at Kingston Uni, the places we used to go to. And we had a bit of a laugh. It was like a little wander down memory lane. We had a good time on Monday. And you'll see some of that. It'll be coming out soon. Yes, I was showing you this t-shirt. Someone was asking about the Lee Sklar one. Well, this is it. So this is a charcoal grey shirt. There's a bunch of different branded t-shirts in the merch store, so different shapes, different cuts, different styles, and then you have that print. So it's Lee Sklar saying, I still don't feel like I've got it right. Every day is a new adventure. And he's right. I feel much the same, to be brutally honest. Off you go, Wasp. It's not for you. So here we are, Thursday night. Brooks's Bass Corner, impromptu live chats. You never know when I'm going to do them. I don't most of the time. But I've done my chores and been editing up remix shorts and working on some long form videos today. So I've just had my dinner, having a little sit down for an hour, and I thought we'll do a live chat, check in with the crew. Anyone got gigs coming up this weekend? We're slap bang in the middle of summer, so I expect all the UK and European people, bass players, to be out there gigging. Got any questions about bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass playing? Great bass players, albums with great bass players on. If you're looking to buy a new bass, want some advice on something, ask away. If I can help, that's what I'm here for. Tap into this. You got any questions about these? We were talking about them on Tuesday's live chat. Alembics, walls, statuses. It was a good chat. Thank you very much for tuning in, watching it at the time. If you got involved, thank you very much. I've had a couple of you message me since saying you found it really informative, that you didn't really know what we were talking about at the time, but by the end it was it started to make sense. So thank you. Sadly, I won't be using this tomorrow night. I've got to use a couple of Fender Precisions, but, well, I say a couple. I'm only taking one, aren't I? So it'll be the black one. And the daft thing is we're only doing an hour. It'll take me more just trying to drive around Oxford getting parked than it will actually doing the gig. And it will whiz by, and before you know it, I'll be back home. And it'll all be over. The madness will be over, and then I've got another Queen gig on Saturday in High Wycombe, which is good. It makes a change for me to have 2 gigs in a weekend very close together and not far from where I live. So that's a bit of a bonus. Oh, we've got messages flying in. Hold on. Hello, mate. That's good. Your profile's called Hello, Mate, and then you type in Arabic. I can't read that. It's got to be in English. Can you write in English, or write what you want in Google Translate? Let it translate, and then copy and paste it back into this chat. Hopefully this wind's going to die down, because Saturday's gig is outdoors. I don't need a windy Saturday. Although the weather's going to perk up a little. It's going to be sunny and warmer next couple of days. Anyway, cheers everyone. Have a good Thursday, wherever you are on the planet. Splendid stuff. Futran, good evening. Hey, how you doing? You came on the live chat last week, I think. You're good. I'm good. Everyone's good, I think. It's all good. Hope you're well. Hope you're all good where you are. If you got any questions, anything you want to talk about, let us know. Bass related, of course. Don't want to talk about food shopping or buying a new Hoover. That's not what we talk about. Top fans, see who's out in front. Rock fan. you're number one. You got 75 points. Westport, you got 75 points. Vutran, you've just come on. You got 75 points as well. This is the new YouTube feature where people get involved on live chats. You get assigned points the more messages you leave, and you get a little badge next to your name. So I see who's ranked first, second, and third. Toughening the old fingers up in preparation for tomorrow. Although quite a bit of the Queen set I actually play with a pick, because that's what Mr. Deacon did. But there are some songs you don't. So it's all the gold-plated hits tomorrow. And actually be surprised how few songs you can actually fit into an hour, into a Queen set in an hour. It actually flies by. The last third of the set is banging tunes, but they'll take up well over a third of the set. But there's not many. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tunes, but they take up a large chunk of the set. We've got a couple of songs in there like Somebody to Love, which is nearly 7 minutes long. Kind of Magic's quite long. What else in there? Radio Gaga's quite long. Crazy Little Thing Called Love can be one or the other. It's all good. Vutran, you've told me that you've been a pro player for 30 years. Did I study music at uni? Nope. I studied computers. Because when I was at school here in London, we were the first year that did GCSEs when it moved over from O levels to GCSEs. And when I was picking my subjects, which would have been April, May, June in 1986, my school said they weren't going to be able to do music as an option. So I couldn't pick music. So I had to go into my 4th and 5th year not able to do music. But when I hit 5th year, they then reinstated music for the people that were then going to start taking their GCSEs. I was gutted. But to be honest, when I was 14, 15, 16, I didn't know what my path was going to be. And I had a chat with, I think it was the headmaster at my school after I'd finished my GCSEs. And he said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. He said, well, you're far too clever to go out and just start work. I said, well, I want to be a musician. He said, but you don't have GCSE music. I said, I know that because you lot wouldn't offer it. He said, well, why don't you go and do some A-levels, stay in education, think about going and doing a degree, because if you have the degree and music doesn't work out for you, you've then got something to fall back on if you need it. And he was right. But I have no theory, musical training, education, nothing. I'm completely self-taught. But I had the degree in computers. It taught me a lot. It taught me how to live away from home, how to grow up, stand on your own 2 feet, look after yourself. And that was it. And I graduated on a Thursday, 8th of June, and I was already booked to join a band. And so I finished my last exam, 8th of June, woke up on the 9th. I was a full-time professional musician. I already had my place in a glam rock tribute band. On Saturday the 10th of June, I went with that band and I teched for them to get an idea of what the band did, how they operated. And it was the last gig that their outgoing bassist was doing. And then from the moment he left, that was it. I was their bass player, and I did my first gig with them on the 16th of June, 95, and that's it. It's been a long old road. Yeah. So that's the story. Sad but true. But yeah, I have no musical education whatsoever, other than using my ears and learning things practically. because I couldn't do it as a formal subject when I was at school. Wasn't offered. Sadly. But there we go. This is what it is. I haven't had a bad run, to be fair. Hope that answers the question. If you've got any more, fire away. If I can offer you any advice or help or sort of guidance, that's what I'm here for. It can be done, kids. You don't have to have a formal musical education in order to be a professional musician. Just as you don't have to have a qualification in photography to be a photographer. It's the same thing. But music, photography, these things, you can do them as a hobby, or you can do them as a profession. But if you're going to do them professionally, you've got to have reasonably high standards, I would say, if you're in it for the long run. Check the messages are still flowing. For some reason the old mobile app for YouTube does tend to stick. Yeah, go on then. Yeah, it's lovely, this. It's lovely. It's going to be going in for a clean and a set up and new strings very soon. You have a Bachelor in Music, very good. Good for you, sir. The music industry here in Finland is very different. Oh yeah, this is it. It's like you can be in music, but where you're located will always have a huge effect on your ability to earn a living from it. It's very difficult to work full-time as a musician. Most of us have other jobs also. Many people here in the UK do. I've known many people in very busy covers bands trying to juggle a job, family, gigs. I've not had, my partner and I don't have children, so and I've not had another job alongside this. Well, I had my journalism job, writing for Bass Guitar Magazine and bass player, but other than that, last time I had a job alongside playing was back in 2000 when I was doing a 3-month IT temping contract for the BBC, which was basically removing old desktop computers from various desks, putting them in a storage place, recording the details and pumping it into a database. That was it for 3 months. But what happened was my old covers band had lost a load of work. A load of gigs that we had all just went for some reason. And I thought, I can't pay my mortgage for 3 months. How am I going to do that? Got the job, 2 days in, suddenly got bombarded with gig offers. So that was a bit of a mental time, trying to work at the BBC every day, getting up at 6 o'clock and sometimes not getting home from gigs till 3 a.m. Was what it was. I haven't had to do another job alongside playing since then, so I've been very fortunate. And now I don't have a mortgage, so I'm in my garden, you know. I worked hard for it, put it that way. I might be coming over to Finland next year. my disco show band that I play with, Uncle Funk. We're going to be doing a Scandinavian tour next year, so we're led to believe. We're waiting for all the details come through, but I think we're going to be playing Holland, potentially Belgium, Denmark, Finland, Norway, Sweden, and anywhere else that will be having us. It's through a European promoter. Just waiting for the details to come through. But if we're heading that way, I will advertise the fact, and I'll let you know if we're coming to a town near you. Ooh. Check the old intonation when this gets on the workbench as well. There we go. We've got 12 people watching. Thank you very much. Give the video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. It would really help the video within the eyes of the YouTube algorithm. Doesn't cost anything. All you've got to do is just hit the thumbs up. That's all it takes. Simple. Seems to be a real aversion to people who watch YouTube videos just to hit a thumbs up. I don't get it. It's like we have to work hard for that thumbs up, and it's like all you got to do is click on it. But those thumbs up have such a huge effect within the YouTube algorithm. If only you knew. You'd love to see us play if we come to Finland. It's a good show. If you like disco, we're very entertaining. You'll see bits and pieces of the band here on the channel. So if you go to some of the gig vlogs, there's some footage of us there. If you go back into the bass string experiment series here on the channel, there's a load of videos where I had one bass and one set of strings, and we did 73 gigs with them. There's a load of Uncle Funk footage in there, a lot of gig footage, because I used to set a camera up and film the gigs. Thank you. Someone just gave me a thumbs up. Very much appreciated. It makes a huge difference. I'm doing YouTube every day, and I know how all these little elements all feed into the bigger machine. And the videos that get most likes, most comments, most shares, they're the ones that do very well. And the ones that don't get the shares or the likes or the comments go straight to the bottom. If you show the algorithm that you like what we do here on the channel, you like the videos, like the live chats, like the shorts, suddenly everything changes for me. And I can make even better videos, and I can start hiring people to help with the camera work and the editing, and suddenly everything blossoms. Oh, that's the fella. It's got nickel strings on. I'm not a fan of nickel strings. Terry Davenport, good to see you. Do I know any Cure songs? I know a couple. I can't play them. I'm not going to get hit with a copyright claim or a copyright strike, unfortunately. And I'm not plugged in. I'm just sat in my garden checking in with my the community who check into my channel regularly. But you're welcome to be part of that, Terry, if you wish. But no, we don't do play-alongs here because YouTube is getting a bit authoritarian in its policing of copyright. So you can play something, think, oh, it's only a bass line, you suddenly get a copyright claim for it. And I'm put 5 years into this channel. I'm not willing to risk it all for copyright strikes and what have you. Get 3 strikes, channel gets deleted. But thank you for asking. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . No frets. Need a bit of cleaning up. Yeah. It's going to get the full makeover very shortly. Not tonight, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow or Sunday. Got any bass related questions, Terry? Fire away. If I can help. I thought they only did that if you actually play their song and play along to it. No. If you're a covers band and you're performing on a stage, you play the song and play along to it. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm picks up on melodies and can pick up on rhythms and can pick up on bass lines. The problem is you don't know which ones will cause a problem. You don't know in advance. For example, I did a gig vlog a couple of weeks ago when I was doing a Queen tribute gig, and I edited the video up, and there was a section from the sound check and there was a section from the gig, and the songs that were played in the sound check were exactly the same as some of the songs that were in the gig. When I uploaded the video, 3 of the songs in the gig were flagged as copyright issues, copyright problems. Yet those 3 songs also featured in the sound check, and they didn't get flagged up. Mental. But either way, I had to go back in, re-edit the video 3 times and pull out those 3 tracks from the performance section of the video. And none of it was vocal. There was no vocals on it. It was all instrumental, intros, outros, solos. So, yeah. And this is the thing, you don't know. And you can upload something and it passes the copyright controls. In 2 years' time, it could get flagged. So it's just not worth the bother. I play guitar and don't play live on YouTube. There we go. Really, Metallica is the worst for it on any platform. Eagles is the worst. Anything to do with the Eagles or Don Henley, you get pulled up on it immediately, and you will get a strike. It's not even a copyright claim, it's a strike. 3 strikes, channel's gone. Truth, open your heart to Jesus Christ. Well, I wish Jesus Christ could sort out tomorrow night's parking and access to the back of Queen's College, Oxford. But, yeah. Adolf, hey, Grandpa, 53, give me a break. Wild money. Yeah, it's the way it is. I understand the copyright thing, I have no problem with it. Don't allow Islam to fool you. Please don't bring politics and religion onto my channel, I'll delete you. Okay, we've got a knobhead here. In fact, we've got 2. So we'll just remove you, and we'll remove you because you're being a dick. That's it. Mike, Metallica's not bad. Terry, you're going to get a Fender 6. Okay, cool. Baritone. Enjoy. Yeah, the old fingerboard needs a bit of a... It's ebony, but it's got some very fine pits. And I'm wondering if when Nick had this, he was cleaning it, some of the residue has sunk into the pits of the wood. But Anyway, I'll get it all sorted out. Don't you worry about that. Vutran, have I heard of Steinbach basses? Yes, Paul Turner plays them. Yeah, I know Paul Turner very well. Interviewed him once, had coffee with him many times. Michael, do you play some Dream Theater? Don't do play-alongs. Can't afford copyright claims and copyright strikes. Sorry. Metallica is good. I would say they were the one that sued everyone. It's actually Don Henley is the worst of the lot. Don Henley and the Eagles employ teams that cost millions of dollars every month to root out people put in, which is why you won't find many playthroughs or play-alongs of Hotel California. If they slip through the net and they get through, eventually they get pulled down and you get a copyright strike. It's not even a claim, and you can't win the dispute. It will be basically, you didn't write this, you don't own the copyright. That's why you got a copyright strike. You won't win it. Westford, Mark Bass, Alain Caron, yeah, love him. Uzeb. Mark Bass, Alain. Oh right, you bought an amp, have you? Very good. Vutra, I live 100 kilometers from Tim Steinbach. Okay, cool. You ordered the very first lefty from him. Oh, very nice. I'm impressed. Yeah, lovely basses. I remember him. He was at the London Bass Guitar Show a couple of months before he got one of Paul's basses. I think Paul's got a white one and a black one. I think, I could be wrong. One's voiced differently to the other, and he was at the show to talk through like the last few points on one of Paul's ones. Nice guy, really nice guy. Yeah, knows his stuff. Terry Danville, so how are these people teaching songs? Well, this is the thing, you don't know their how are these people teaching songs to YouTube? It's an algorithm. So they put in the original song, the people at YouTube. The algorithm and the various software they've got pulls the song to bits. They work out the harmonic structure, the chord progressions, blah, 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 tempos, rhythms, harmonies, all of that. It's very clever, this AI stuff. And then they put it into practice and they find material or content that's up that could have gone up 10 years ago and got through the copyright process. If the publisher or the writer decides to cull all the content that features their compositions, you don't know. So the only way to do it is to keep us. I think I've sailed a bit too close to the wind with some of my gig vlogs, but I might not know for years to come. And I would hope by that time YouTube actually had a tool here on the channel on YouTube, on the platform, that would allow you to press a button and AI would take out the musical section without taking your spoken voice. So if you were talking on stage, like I do sometimes after a gig and a DJ's playing a song in the background, there was an algorithm piece of software that would take the music out but leave the voice in. That seems to have gone, but I'm hoping that over time they might reinstate that. Vutran, yeah, your bass was made in the same batch as Paul's. He took with him to the show. Oh, there you go. Cool. Very good. That was about 10 years ago. So I remember Paul had certainly one, if not both, of his Steinbachs then. So that was January 2015. Long time ago. Check I'm getting all these messages. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's okay. Terry, playing the bass, do you mostly play in standard tuning? Yeah, pretty much. The only times I used to be in a covers band where we played semitone down to help the singers' voices, but nowadays I do everything standard. If I've got a drop, semitone, tone, tone and a half, I'll use a Digitech drop. Means I haven't got to retune the basses and the necks prefer it. Gareth Harrison, good to see you. So many guitar players are playing in some wild tunes which throws you completely off. That's where the Digitech drop, the EHX pitchfork, the various drop tuning facilities and things like the Helix, they're all very useful. We didn't have these 25 years ago. I could have done with them. Michael Anthony, good to see you. Thank you for your comments about the other night's live chat. Glad you found it useful and helpful, informative. That's the whole point of the live chats. Gareth, can't stay too long. I was leaving for an open mic in around 20 minutes. That's okay. I'll probably leave at about the same time, guys. Dogs are fed. Ozcan, Hotel California. We've just had this chat. No. I'm not getting a copyright strike for no one. Sorry. You can keep asking for it. It's not going to happen. Anything related to the Eagles or Don Henley, forget it. Nope. Ain't happening. You clearly don't know what copyright claims and copyright strikes are. Or maybe you're a bot asking for that because you want to plague my channel. It's not happening. Terry Davenport, that Helix like 1,200 quid. I have so many Boss pedals. Yeah, I use individual pedals too. I don't find the Helix screens that big. I you know, the eyes aren't what they used to be. Westfort, level 42. What, you want me to play level 42? I can play some riffs, but I'm not gonna. It's not like you're gonna hear it, is it? Because all you're gonna hear is just string against fret. It's not great. It's not a great listening experience. You can pack that in, Michael Anthony. Yeah, that'd be great. Jimmy Page coming down on me like a ton of bricks. No. Terry, same with me. I like Boss pedals, so I can go by the Cutler. I use a whole bunch of different pedals by different manufacturers, but yeah, I just prefer being if I'm on a gig and something needs adjusting, I don't want to have to go through a whole menu system to be able to change the tone or the resonance or the depth or the rate. I want to be able to just bend down, change what I need to change, and that's it. Yes, Westfort, true believers. What venue are you doing the open mic night at, Gaz? Where are you heading to? These strings are dead. Oh dear. The Angel Inn in Oldham. Is it nice? I don't know if Oldham has any nice venues, so. What was your decision about that Palmer DI box thing? What did you think? 75 quid sounds reasonable if it's all working. Thank you very much, Patricia. Terry, Boss pedals hold their value. Yes, they do. What pedal do you normally use? I use a whole bunch of different things depending on the band. I've got two boards. I've got a pedal train large affair for when I'm doing festivals and stuff with the disco show band. I have a smaller board which I can use for that band if I have to, but I also use for the Queen band. So generally the pedal route. Bass, into Boss TU2 tuner, into a Digitech drop pedal, into we go into the EBS Octabase, into an Aguilar filter twin, or a Boss Dynamic Wah AW3, then Source Audio Mercury Flanger, and that then goes into a Aguilar Tone Hammer DI preamp. Sometimes I'm using the Sonic Stomp by BBE. I just need to work out if I can stop using that on batteries and use it on a multi-switching power supply. Originally you couldn't, but apparently now you can, but I don't want to blow that pedal up, so I've got to find a way of testing it. I did ask them, and some guy from BBE said yes, that should be fine. Yeah, cross your fingers and hope. I don't want to blow up a £100 pedal because someone doesn't know, so I need to look into that. Hang on, a few messages there. Michael Anthony, until last month, I was playing through an old first generation Rack Pod Pro. They were good, but just got a Rack Helix. That's a very different proposition. I didn't know bass could growl in the low end like this. Exactly, yes. There's a lot going on in there, which is why Billy Sheehan has sort of gone in both feet with Helix stuff. He's really gone into all the possibilities, routing, signals. Gorgeous finish. It's a flame colored top, so you can see the dark stripe, and that's all fine. But in certain angles, when light is on it, you saw it on the live chat the other night, there's actually a vertical flame within the Koa. Might not show up, but if I get some sunlight on it, the sun's gone down, you might see it, or you might not. But anyway, there is a flame. I can see it close up. Very nice it is too. It's the only Koa bass I've got, actually. All works fine. Patricia, you've been playing for 5 months, no 35 songs. Good for you. Well done. Keep up the hard work. Westfort, see you later. You're off. Okay, good. Enjoy. I'll see you Tuesday, hopefully. There might be some impromptu live chats over the weekend. There might be one tomorrow, and I'm wandering around Oxford, swearing, probably. If you got any questions, Mike, fire away. Or Patricia, you got anything you want to ask about bass playing? If I can help, give some information, some advice, some guidance, happy to do so. That's what I'm here for. Oh, dear. Bent the string off the fingerboard. Don't do that. Yeah. Bend up, not down. Terry, is Digitech still making pedals? Yes. You had a multiple effects that came up missing some time ago. Yes, they do. So the Digitech drop is it's part of the whammy pedal technology, but without all the histrionics that involves. So it's literally a stomp pedal with a stomp button, and then you've got 8 semitones. So you basically got your starting point, and you go 1 semitone down, 2 semitone, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which obviously isn't a whole octave. So it goes 1 to 7, then when you get to the 8th step, that's the octave, and then you have a choice of running it as an octave without the original note, which creates a sub effect, or you can have it as an octave effect with the original note and the 8th step down. But the same principles as all octave pedals applies. Anything below a low A ain't going to sound that great. It's going to be a lot of rumble, and the tracking isn't going to be that great. But the pedal works fine for the value. Some people complain about it. It's like any octave pedal. Anything where you're dropping tuning or harmonizing or working in that context, the quality of the preamp, pickups, the tonal display, the tonal options on offer will determine how well that tracks, pretty much. Patricia, how do I slide easier? What, on the strings? You could try using nickel strings, maybe use half wounds. Different brands feel different. So if you're using round ones, rotor sounds are very textured feeling, so they feel rough. Things like the Darios, they're a bit smoother. Different brands, different strings, all have different feels. Oh, dog's kicking off. Mike, Phil plays bass. Phil Hov, of course. Had a wonderful live stream today. That's my bass guru. Excellent. Top man. Top man. Terry, yes, it was very nice. I live in Texas, been through several hurricanes. Whoa, take it easy out there. I'm going to pop off in a moment because the dogs are barking and I don't know why. I don't think anyone's at the front door. If they are, I'm not answering. Any tips on how to slide? Sometimes it hurts your fingers. It's practice. You have to build your calluses up on your fretting fingers. It takes time. Hello. You just takes time building up the calluses. So when I'm not gigging heavily, and then I come into a period like now in the summer where I'm gigging, I will sit with a bass while I'm watching telly, and I'm not playing anything that makes any sense. I'm just building up calluses on the playing fingers and the fretting fingers, and there's nothing but hard work and doing it. There's no shortcuts. And as you look, in 6 months' time, if you play regularly, play a bit every day, build up those calluses, in 6 months, you won't even believe that you asked that question, honestly. But it just takes time. But maybe if you find a string brand that works better for you, that isn't so tough on the... I mean, what brand strings are you using? If you're using rotor sounds and they're swing bass round wound steels, they will trash your fingers. Not that these are rotor sound, they're not, but on most of my basses, that's what I have. And they chew your fingers up. But again, over time, it all sort of smooths out. But although I'm gigging, because it's summer at the moment, it's not like I'm doing 4 gigs a week. When I get into that sort of run of work where you're doing lots all the time, my calluses are like steel. So, yeah. Gareth, try looking at the note you want to slide to rather than your hand. That's good. That's good. See, I don't do that. I just automatically go. But again, I've got 38 years on the clock, so I just kind of know my fingerboards. What changes though is when you use a different bass to what you normally play, and sometimes the fret spacing can throw you out. Sometimes if I've been playing my Empathy for weeks, and then go to the GB or Alembic or Spectre or whatever, I'll come up short because it's different for each bass. But it's just an experience thing. Mike, interesting about octave pedals under the low A. I thought I regretted getting my OC5, that I should have gotten an OC2. No, I think you're just overspending there. You would only... The OC5 should do enough decent octave stuff. There's no reason to be paying $5,000 for an OC2. No. Just buy different octave pedals. They all sound different. I've got about 7 or 8 here. None of them sound the same. They all sound different. And I go through periods of which one is doing what I want for a given project at a given time. I shouldn't be spending $5,000 on an OC2. That's mad. Save your money. There's plenty of pedals can do what an OC2 does. If I put you on a stage in front of 1,000 people, you cannot tell me that 1,000 people in that audience are going to tell the difference between OC2 and OC5. They ain't. Dealing with bass frequencies and power. It's not like guitar tone. It's a different thing. Terry Damport, cut your fingernails all the time. Carry a nail clipper in your gig bag. I've been playing 38 years. I've only bought a nail clipper for my gig bag in the past month. Idiot. I did a gig in the middle of May, and I just had a bit of nail wick, and it was annoying, and I pulled it, and blood streamed out of my finger, and I couldn't cut it. It kept catching on the string all night. Normally I'm pretty good. I do my nails about every 2 weeks, but that was a stupid thing, and I needed some bits and bobs off Amazon. It was like nail clipper. That's okay. That's all right. That's what I'm here for. Helpful tips. Helpful Mike. That's me. Mike, maybe Patricia should try some half rounds or coated strings. Yes, you may find those easier. But like I say, different brands have a different feel if you're using round wounds. Nickel wound is a softer metal, and that can make things. If you bought a set of nickel round wound rotor sound strings and then bought a set of steels, you're going to feel the difference instantly. Nickel is a softer metal, and so generally the windings tend to feel a bit softer as well. So you might want a different brand and go for nickels. You might find that helpful. Personally, I'm not a great fan of nickel. Oh, go on. What's this? What's this? Helpful Mike. Yeah, don't take the nick. That's a good name for me. There we go. See, we're helping each other tonight. That's what it's all about. I'm a firm believer that not every bass works with the same brand of strings, same gauge, same material. I've got 40 odd basses in there, and I don't string them all up with the same brand, same winding, same material. And sometimes you get a set of strings on a certain bass that just makes that bass come alive, when before you might have thought, don't get it, I don't get what all the hype is. You get a different set of strings on there, it suddenly becomes a totally different instrument. So don't be afraid to experiment with different strings on different basses. These are big, thick old wires, and they're all different. These are nickels. I don't like them. I'm not a fan of nickel strings. I like steels. Sunset starting now. We get some fabulous sunsets here. Any other questions? Any other basic questions? Bass amps, bass effects, strings, accessories, gigging stuff. Terry, you've played some lower end guitars lately, and Epiphone, some others. If you set them up, they aren't bad. Very true. I've actually got 5 guitars here that I'm selling on behalf of a family of someone that used to frequent this channel, and he died 2 years ago, and I've been asked to help sell his Ronnie Pickering, not the Ronnie Pickering surely, to sell the guitars, and there's 3 Epiphones in there, all brand new, untouched. The guy died of multiple cancers, and he was buying instruments probably up until about 6 weeks before he died, thinking he was going to come home. He didn't come home. So I'm selling those guitars, and the money is going to be given to animal charities. So if you're in the market for any guitars, Terry, let me know. There's 2 Epiphone Les Pauls, one blue, one cherry sunburst. There's a large electroacoustic, and there's 2 Fender Strats, an American one and a Mexican one. Ronnie Pickering, are you going to ask me if I know who you are? Do you know who I am? Charlie, come see Dad. See if I can get the Chihuahua on screen. 3-legged tripod. You come and see Dad. Come see Dad. Come say hello to the world. Come here. Come here. Up you come. Oh, my boy. Here we go. There we are. You can say hello? Yes, darling. Oh, I know. It's been a hard old day, isn't it? Yeah. You're a good boy. Yes, you've been very good for me today. Thank you very much. Yes. I know. Oh, I know. Yes. You're a good boy, aren't you? We tell the world where we're going on our walk tomorrow. We're going for a nice walk at the Common, are we? Going to go for a nice walk at the Common in the woods. Yes. See some doggies. Chase some squirrels. And that. Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Yes. Yes. Have you had your dinner? Yeah. Has Mum given you treats? Yes. Thank you. Have you had your toothbrush? Have you? Have you had your toothbrush? All right. And have you been playing with Ollie today? Yeah. Good boy, aren't you? Don't worry that he's missing a leg. He runs like a bullet. Go see Mum. Quick. He can go like a rocket. Have no fear. He has the best life. Previous owner didn't look after him properly, so he had to have well, they didn't take him to the vets. He damaged his shoulder, broke his leg. It all fused together the wrong way, and it all went wrong. And then they took him to an RSPCA to get him fixed, and then didn't want to pay for it, so they had to sign him over, and we took him on. And now he has the best life, the way it should be. You might see that flame in the coat now. You might. There we go. Right there. You see the flame patterning? You might see it more. Oh, there you go. Top edge. Right there. It's lovely. But this will be getting I'll be getting some Neverdull on this because it's got brass position markers on the neck edge, which have gone so dirty you can't really see the dots. So I'll get some Neverdull on that, and they'll be bright and gleaming. Get some Neverdull on the nut, on the logo, on the part of the bridge. Part of it you can't do because it's plated, and I think truss rod's okay. Frets need a clean. Lubricate the ebony board, give the whole thing a bit of a spruce up, and we're good to go. It's a cracker. Yeah. Vutran, those Alembics look heavy. This one isn't. It's pretty good. It's all right. The larger scale bodies can be. Sometimes they're chambered. You'll know if it's chambered. But when you have one made, if you have one made from scratch, you can ask for it to be chambered. That takes a load of the weight off. The larger body ones are heavy and long, but this is a medium scale and it's not that heavy. Probably about 4.2 kilos, maybe. At a push. It's medium scale based on where the bridge is and the nut. So. Yeah. Yeah. The thing with Alembics Vutran is they are all different. You can't play one and say, oh well, I don't like Alembics, because they're all different. Each one plays different, feels different, sounds different. I've got 3 Alembics, none of them sound even remotely the same. Respond differently. Resonate differently. Yeah. I do get people ask me, do you take your Alembics out for gigs? Absolutely. Don't just hang on the wall looking pretty. But this is different because it's medium scale. It's a little bit more compact than the larger ones. I don't tend to take them out unless I know the venue or I know how big the stage is going to be, because I need a bit of room. It's a bit like trying to turn an aircraft carrier with those things, and you don't want to be banging them and walking into people and getting them dinged. So if I'm doing like quite a big stage, then I'll take them. And it's always lovely when you play with a well, I've got well, in fact, none of my Alembics are series bases. I've got a 20th anniversary, I've got a Mark King signature standard, and I have this Persuader. But the sound, they just fill. If you've got monitors or IEMs, it sounds magnificent. Everything you would expect and hope. Oh. The old table's going to take off there. The old canopy. The old sunset's kicking in there. We'd meant to have a very nice warm weekend this weekend. Mike Litterus, oh come on, you can do better than that. That's just a poor gag. Nice bass, thank you very much. Yeah, what kind of IEMs you got? So I started down the IEMs path. Oh, let's think. That would have been sort of February, March 2019. And I didn't. It's a can of worms. Where do you start? And I posted up a message on my Facebook asking for pointers from my muso mates and all that. And there was also a very informative thread on Bass Chat as well. And I got people going, oh, you need to spend 700 quid on ultimate ears, and you need this, and you need that, and you got to do this, and da, 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 da. And then two things happened. So a friend of mine called Andy Carr, who plays for ABC and Belinda Carlisle and a bunch of other people, said it doesn't matter how good the IEMs you've got or the system you've got is, if the person doing your mix is crap. And he's totally right. If you've got the very best IEMs and the best IEM technology and you've paid a fortune for it, all that's going to do is amplify a bad mix. They're not going to make it better, it's just going to amplify it and make it sound even worse. He said, what I'm doing, and this is coming from a guy doing these sort of gigs, he said, I've bought the Linsol KZS10s, KSZ10s, I can't remember, from Amazon. They're basically about 45 quid. They've got 5 drivers in them, or back then they had 4. So you get bass, middle, and treble. A lot of the, like the Shaw IEMs and some of the cheaper ones, you don't have all those drivers. So they just sound like normal headphone buds. He said you've got to increase the number of drivers to get the sound right. He said, but if you break one or you lose one or someone steals them, it's only 45 quid. It's not like having a £700 of custom molded IEMs. When you lose those, you've got to go and buy another £700 pair of IEMs, haven't you? But these Amazon ones, they're 45 quid. Why don't you buy a pair, see how you get on, see what you think. So then a covers band I was depping with at the time That band had never had monitors, and the guy that was singing in it was starting to feel the effects after 20 odd years of doing covers bands. I said, "You got there?" He said, "Oh, it's a second-hand Sennheiser G2 or G3. It might be a G2." I said, "Right." I said, "How long you had that?" He said, "Oh, about 6 months." I said, "Made a difference?" He said, "Wish I'd had it 20 years ago." He said, "I bought it second-hand on eBay. It's been a life changer." I said, "Oh, right." I said, "What in-ears are you using?" He said, "Oh, just Sennheiser ones." I went, "Oh, okay." I said, "But you got that off eBay?" He said, "Yeah, it was only like 300 quid. I was like, "Okay." So I then had a look on eBay, and there were loads of them going. And I thought, well, okay. Well, he is a singer. I'm a bass player. So what he needs them for is something entirely different to me. But if he's saying this is a good route to go down, because you're not outlaying loads of money, you can always upgrade further down. I thought, no, just take the plunge. So I got a Sennheiser, I think it was a G2, and it's fine. I've had no issues with it. I've had no reason to upgrade, to be brutally honest. I haven't upgraded it since 2019. And I bought a set of these Amazon KZS10s. Amazing. So I've been using the Amazon IEMs ever since. I'm still on my first set. I've got 3 sets. I carry one, which is my regular set. I carry a spare set in my bag. And then I have a 3rd set here at home. So if I have a busy week of gigs or a weekend, something happened, I've at least got 2 more sets if the original set goes kaput. And the sound, I couldn't ask for better. And in Uncle Funk, we do our own sound. So we have our own iPads and stuff, and you have a mixer and you can make the sound how you want. Sometimes I use them on other gigs, and I might not have control of my sound, but I tell the sound man what I want, and I've not had a bad experience, and the sound quality is really good. And I've had people say, "Oh, do you need one of those like Porter and Davis platform or the Ike platform that gives you some rumble?" No, I don't. And also, a lot of the bands I play in, I'm not stood in one spot for the whole night. I tend to move around the stage. Well, the platform's completely pointless in that respect. So that would be my advice. There are links if you want to help the channel. If you want to buy some of those IEMs I've spoken about, if you use the Amazon shop link not in the description box for this video, but any other video here on the channel, you'll find those IEMs in my Brooks's Bass Corner shop on Amazon. I think that they go through deals. Sometimes they're 43 quid, another week they might be 45 quid. Prices go up and down, but they're never more than about 47 or 48. Buy one set, you know, what's 47 quid? You know, we spend more than that on a set of strings sometimes, so give them a go. If you don't like them, you've only paid 47 quid, make them your backup set and spend more if you want. But I've never been disappointed with the sound I've had, whether I'm doing it or someone else is doing it. That's my personal experience. See how you get on. Lakshi Bhatia, hey, I tried learning guitar, but I stopped because my fingers were getting cut. How do you deal with that? That's guitar. This is bass. These are proper strings. Big things. Yeah, big buggers. How do you stop your fingers getting cut? Calluses. It's practice, playing time. You got to put in the time and the effort. You got to build up pads of skin on your fingers, and eventually the strings stop hurting. Yeah, you've got to put in the practice time. That's all it is, and it builds up over time. Vutram, most of my gigs are done on IEM, and I usually take care of my own in-ear mix. Result, got a pair of Earsonics SM64s for about 350 euros. If you're happy with those, that's all cool. But I would honestly say, check out the Amazon ones. So even if you got them and you didn't like them, they can be your spare set if the Earsonics are knackered or whatever. But I have no issues with them, and I stand by them. I'm very happy with them, and I think they're definitely now upgraded to 5 drivers. I think my first set were 4, my other 2 pairs are 5s, but I just use them till I wear them out. Lakshi Bhatia, oh my god, that's a cool name. It's his real name, or her real name. There you go. Here we go. Right, ladies and gents, we're going for nearly an hour and 40 minutes. That wasn't planned. I thought I'd just do about half an hour. Anyway, I've got to go in. I've got to run through my Queen stuff for this weekend. Top and tail all the tunes. Make sure the bass is fine. The bass is getting a restring tomorrow, so we'll get a load of pampering in the morning. Can I play Metallica? Nothing else matters. I could, but I won't. Hi, by the way. Right, I'm going to call it a day. I am going to crack on, get my jobs done. So we've got a Queen gig tomorrow, Queen gig Saturday. I'll try and do some impromptu live chats. We'll have to see what the phone reception is like where I am on the gigs. Live chat Tuesday, 8 p.m, of course. And shorts are 3 a day. Keep checking out the shorts feed. And long form, I'm going to try and get a video up tomorrow. So I thought I'd get it today, but it's not going to get out today. So thank you, Mike. Very generous of you with your time. It's all right. It's cool. It's what we're here for. Share the knowledge, man. Have a great weekend if I don't see you before. See you on the live chat on Tuesday. You might see me on an impromptu live chat. Who knows? I may do an impromptu live chat tomorrow afternoon. We will see. I'll keep you up posted on the progress restringing the precisions. Anyway, have a great evening wherever you are on the planet.